In case you've lost track of time or have been living under a rock, Red Dead Redemption 2 is almost upon us, with its launch set for October 26, 2018. After 8 long years, we are finally getting the sequel to what many consider to be one of the best games last generation. And based on the footage we have seen and the impressions we have read so far, it would seem as though this game is really destined for greatness. Now, speaking of long-awaited sequels, one Rockstar game that many people have been adamantly anticipating a continuation to is Bully. This was a game that was released all the way back in October 17th, 2006, making the title close to 12 years old now, and it's still among the studio's most beloved titles with its great characters, charming sandbox high school setting, and fun gameplay. We have gone over a decade without a Bully sequel, and the wait for one seemed nowhere in sight, that is until recently. It has come to my attention that Rockstar may have finally started development on the long-awaited Bully 2. The following information comes from news outlet Rockstar Intel, which recently published an article reporting some rather interesting, intel that may indicate the sequel is finally being pursued. Now, it is important to keep in mind that the following information should be taken with a grain of salt, as it's all rumors and speculation. At the same time, some of the evidence presented is rather compelling, so it's worth at least having on the back of your mind moving forward. The article begins by stating that the outlet has reason to believe that casting calls related to Bully 2 have been released by a casting director who is seeking actors for some unknown project. There are apparently 7 casting calls right now citing a, quote, new unannounced video game title with a leading UK game developer shooting in Pinewood Studios. Now, some of you might be immediately tempted to look up where Rockstar Games' headquarters is located, and in doing so, what you'd find is that the studio is located in New York City, which contradicts the casting call's information. But it's worth keeping in mind that the developers behind the first Bully game was Rockstar Vancouver, based in Canada, and that subsidiary has a relationship with Rockstar's London branch, and that Vancouver aided London in the development of Max Payne 3. So while the casting call may not be happening in Canada as one might expect, it's not a stretch to surmise that Rockstar London may be lending a hand in the development of Bully 2, and part of their job may involve helping with casting actors. With that in mind, let's move on to the next paragraph of the article, which notes that the casting calls are mainly for teenage and young roles, with all character names being placeholders. As is the way with secretive video game projects, there's not much in the way of information, but one vague detail that the casting calls provided was an excerpt that reads, quote, mild violence and profanity will be used in scenes with a young performer. The project itself is a thriller drama, and all scenes with a young performer will be handled with sensitivity. So, a video game project that's mainly casting primarily young teenage actors that will have them performing acts of mild violence and profanity. Sure as hell does sound like check marks are being ticked off for a new Bully game, wouldn't you say? Now, for the cherry on top, some of the casting calls also make mention of roles such as college professors, which might be indication that Bully 2 will move on from a high school setting and delve into college. Then again, the actors that are being sought out are meant to be in their teenage years rather than young adults, so who knows? One possible theory to draw from this is that the game might feature both high school and college settings, meaning we might be interacting with teenagers, young adults, and adults alike. A few final details the article mentioned include that where the casting calls made by casting director Jessica Jeffries are being shot, Pinewood Studios in London, is a very popular and large-scale studio for very big companies. That Rockstar staff has come into engagement with the listings, and that the casting calls are all for motion capture acting roles, a technology that many AAA companies like Rockstar employ these days to deliver more nuanced performances to tell their stories. Assuming this article is being truthful about these casting calls having gone out, then yeah, prospects for a Bully sequel are looking pretty damn good, especially when you consider that Bully 2 rumors have already been circulating, with Rockstar insider Yan2295 in particular having insisted in the past that the next game from Rockstar after Red Dead Redemption 2 will be Bully 2. I will emphasize again that all of this should be taken with a grain of salt, but I wouldn't fully count these rumors out either. Honestly, Bully 2 has been a highly requested game by Rockstar fans, and the game would go a long way in varying up Rockstar's portfolio before the inevitable release of Grand Theft Auto 6, an endeavor that the studio is in no rush fulfilling, given Grand Theft Auto 5 is still selling unbelievably well and raking in a ridiculous amount of revenue through its online mode's microtransactions. Fingers crossed that the rumors are true, as it would be a nice change of pace, and also because Bully 1 established a fantastic foundation that leaves a lot of room for extrapolation. These are one man's thoughts and opinions anyway. I'd love to hear what your take is on the latest Bully 2 rumors in the comments below. With that, I would like to end this news update. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy my content and would like to support this channel directly, consider donating on Patreon. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Yong Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Yong out!